bookish friends. I haven't been able to film this week because they were doing some weird construction thing on my street again, even though the sidewalks are done. And we've been very busy. But at least I got to go see my grandmother. Anyway, it's time to do my September. It is August. September TBR. Which I'm going to do 2 reading challenges for next month. The first is Series September that Krista at Books and Jams puts on. And there's 9 prompts for that one. And then Chantel at Chantel Reads All Day, she is doing an autumn reading bingo, which will run September, October, November. So I have 3 months to do her 9 prompts. And with Chantel, you can't double up prompts because she's giving you 3 months to do it. But you can double up prompts for Series September. So if I remember, I have all my series books spread out in front of me. So if I remember, I'll say which prompts they can go for. I have some priority reads. First up is The Clockwork Dragon by James R. Hannibal. This is the 3rd and last book in the Section 13 series. This is actually my son's book, and he really wants me to read it so he can have it back. So, I have to read this in September. It looks chunky. It's about 400 pages, but it's like shorter than a standard book, so it's not quite as long. And I don't know if I can say anything about it without giving away the first 2 books. Except it's fantasy and looks like they'll be going to China. Oh, it's middle grade. I could say that too. And then I also want to read the 2nd book in the Wilder King trilogy. I think one or both of my sons have listened to the whole trilogy and they want to be able to talk about it with me. And I've only read the first book. And this is also fantasy, also middle grade. A bit of a retelling of the story of David. And the last priority one is Valley of Dragons by Christina Baer. This is the 5th and last book in the Secrets of Ormdale series. This is maybe classified as young adult. Again, it's the next book in a series. Not much I can say without giving away the rest of the series, but there are dragons, and it's set in Victorian England. Yeah, that would finish 2 series. Also, Clockwork Dragon would count as completing a whole series in a year and would count as kid pick, so I would definitely be marking stuff off my bingo board. And then the last one I really want to prioritize getting to in September is Murder in Mesopotamia by Agatha Christie. I have also on my personal year-long goal bingo board to read 3 Agatha Christie books. I've read 0. And this is a Poirot, so it counts as a series book. I have arrived, said the note. Louise Leitner claimed the writer had followed her halfway around the world, was now coming to kill her. But the others on the dig in Iraq thought the archaeologist's wife was suffering from hysteria until she was found bludgeoned in her bedroom. Nice. Like I said, it's a Poirot. Yeah, in the hall of the Tigris Palace Hotel in Baghdad, a hospital nurse was finishing a letter. Agatha Christie never has gripping first sentences, and I have not said what a single one of these could count for Series September. So the Clockwork Dragon could count for, the Series September ones are all about the cover. This could count as a moody, dark cover. It's illustrated. It's blue tones. I didn't notice that. It is blue tones. It has the bold type for the title. For nature, it has the moon and it has the Thames River. I was gonna say the dragon, but I think it's actually a machine. Yeah, so that could count for those. For The Secret of Swamp King, again, we have the bold type title. It is an illustrated cover. We do have trees for forest and nature. It is beautiful. I don't know if it has cozy vibes. And then, oh right, I also said for the autumn book bingo. I guess we could count it as atmospheric with that cover. This could also count for the trees and leaves with the forest. Also, if we end up in the peachy swamp, they also have trees in it. And then for Valley of Dragons, it's illustrated. And I would consider those fall colors on the cover. It's got like the burgundy, brown, gold kind of colors. It has the bold type for Valley of Dragons. You could possibly consider this light academia, maybe. It is beautiful. It is cozy. And then for the autumn reading challenge, I don't think it has orange on the cover. I think that's gold for the dragon. No trees or leaves. It is cozy, so I might count it for that. And then Murder in Mesopotamia, you have the bold type for Agatha Christie. It could maybe count as light academia with the archaeology hat and the letters, and then Poirot's academic, I guess. Oh, is it fewer than two? No, it's more than 200 pages. Can't count as short. It doesn't have orange on the cover. Might not be able to count this one. So those are the ones I'm going to prioritize. Oh, and I was going to maybe try to get the audiobook for Cameron Townsend from the Christian Heroes Then and Now series and listen to this with my kids. We were listening to a missionary story like every day last year, and we've done 2 weeks of school and we haven't listened to any, and we have a bit of a drive for ours, so I might do this one. This might count as orange on the cover. Don't know what's in those pots, but I'll find some way to work it in. And I do have a duology I would like to get to, the Eternity Gate by Catherine Briggs. I actually have both books in this duology, and I mean, this could count as moody and dark. It's got the full colors, it's illustrated, it has the bold type, it's beautiful. And then I guess maybe it could count as atmospheric for the autumn one. I'm having a hard time picking those. That might be a challenge I prioritize for October and November. And then the Immortal Abyss, it has the blue tones. I don't know what these are about. Go ahead and stop it. Don't actually know what this is about. I just know Chantel really liked it, and it's Enclave. The Eternity Gate is found, and kings and monsters battle over its legends of treasure. Rumors whisper that someone stole the gate's ancient key. Oh boy, what the fantasy names? Sail? Handmaiden to the princess keeps 3 secrets. First, she's gifted in fire, not light. Oh, that could work for the fire prompt. And may as well be cursed. Second, she translates a prophecy warning that the gate does not offer treasure but judgment. Third, Jory, the scorned prince of Seos, and Seos' confidant, entrusts her with the key and disappears. Okay, I have a stack of like the next books in series I would like to get to. I have Uckridge by P.G. Wodehouse. I've only read 1 out of the 3 Wodehouses I want to this year. This is the sequel to Love Among the Chickens. We have a different narrator, but the same kind of main character. Uckridge, he likes to do get-rich-quick schemes, but they don't actually work. Here's a few of them. Finance for dog college? It's yours. Shares in an accident syndicate? Easily arranged. Promoting a kind-hearted heavyweight boxer? A snip. So, it'd be nice to read another Wodehouse, or I might read the next Jeeves and Wooster book. That would come next for me. I think I've read the first 2, maybe 3. And if I finish The Secret of Swamp King, I could read The Way of the Wilder King and this, or is it Wilder? I don't know. This would also be a complete series for me this year. I did recently pick up the second book in C.S. Lewis's Space Trilogy. Only read the first one. I don't know if I'm going to continue, but I have it if I decide to. And I have time to share. This is just a cozy mystery, so it would work for cozy. It's got like this quilted fall cover, so that would work too for a few of the different prompts. When Sarah decides to make a quilt depicting her favorite view of Mount Greylock, she hikes to the area bringing her granddaughters a sketchbook and a camera. The girls videotape each other goofing off at the top of the hill, and later Sarah notices something odd in their footage. A man, barely visible through the bushes, struggling with something on the ground. Who is he? What was he doing there? Mysteries ensue. And I think maybe last year I started a reread of Terry Blackstock's If I Run series, and I never got around to book 2. I might, this is kind of low on the priority list because it would be a reread. And then I have 2 stacks of book 1s. I do have Winterheart, which would work for several of the prompts, but it's a winter book and the first book in a series, so I think I'm going to hold on to this till November or December. I recently picked up The Time Door by Shannon McDermott. I think this is, yeah, A Reckless Last Mission on Mars. And another Enclave book. It's book 1 in just a duology, so low commitment. And I also picked up The Enchanted Wood, and this would be the first book in a series. I have book 2. And Wolf Soldier, this is young adult fantasy, but I really want to finish The Clockwork Dragon and maybe give myself some space before picking up another book / series by the same author. And this is kind of my lower priority stack. The Quest for the Silver Castle, another fantasy book. I think that's also duology. Picked it up on the 50-cent rack at a bookstore. The Book of the Dun Cow, I got this at a thrift store, I think the spring or summer, probably the spring. It's a book a friend had recommended to me a while ago. And A Talent for Murder. This, I believe, is historical fiction, Agatha Christie as the main character. I have book 1 and I have, I think, book 4. Murder and Postscript. Shatona sent me this one because she had 2 copies. It's a historical fiction, first book in a mystery series. And can you tell I like cozy mystery? A Patchwork Murder. This is by the same publisher as the Scottish Bakehouse mysteries that I read. This was on a clearance rack, I think, at a bookstore or a thrift store. And I think I liked this author, Jan Fields. So this would be another mystery series. Join Emma, Cotton, Kelly Grace, and the members of the Nimble Thimbles quilting group in the quaint seaside town of Mystic Harbor, Massachusetts, as they piece together new clues found in an old quilt that could help solve the mystery surrounding the death of their dear friend Rose 15 years ago. Sounds kind of similar to the first Patchwork Murder book that I read, except more recent. And Shatona bought the first book in The Secret of the Rose. I'm not likely to get to this one in September just because I have already put on one book that's more than 400 pages and one that's like right at 500 pages. So I don't think I want to commit to 2 tomes in 1 month when I'm only reading like 8 to 12 books a month during the school year. And Raising Dragons by Brian Davis. first book in the Dragons in Our Midst series. A boy learns of his dragon past. I mean, I just heard dragons and thought it was good. This one is right about, well, that's an excerpt. This is like 370 pages, so we'll see. But, yeah. So those are all my possibilities. These are the 4 that I'm really hoping to get to. The Clockwork Dragon, The Secret of the Swamp King, Valley of Dragons, and Murder in Mesopotamia. And, oh, I forgot. I have been reading the Firebird series as kind of my ebooks for the month. And I'm reading book 2, so I might get to Crown of Fire. And there's not really much I can say about these because the synopsis for book 2 totally gives away the ending of book 1. So all I can say is it is a space opera, has some kind of Star Wars, Star Trek influences, but it's a Christian series and I loved book 1. I'm enjoying book 2, not very far into it. And until next time, happy reading!